And take the under on that one.
Anyway, folks, get BetProtect today. The industry's biggest 125% sign-up bonus plus up to 30 risk-free bets. BetUS.com, where the game begins.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
John, what are you doing? Get in my car. Why are you walking to work?
Thanks, man. It's these insanely high gas prices. They are draining my bank account. I can't afford to drive anymore.
Dude, don't walk. Just do what I do because I never pay full price for gas anymore. I use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, you're telling me you get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WINNING for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's promo code WINNING. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WINNING for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WINNING.
When life gets overwhelming, help is only a phone call away. Trained and caring crisis specialists are available 24/7 at 844-534-HOPE to assist with suicidal thoughts, substance use issues, depression, anxiety, and more. You are never alone. When you need help, please call 844-534-HOPE from anywhere in Arizona. Call 844-534-HOPE now or text the word HOPE to 4HOPE 44673. This message is sponsored by Solari Crisis and Human Services.
I know I need money for retirement, but what should I invest in? I also need money for the kids' college fund, and I'm not sure I have enough insurance. How do I balance all of this? I need a stockbroker, a financial planner, and an insurance agent? Ugh.
Hello, I'm Mo Ansari, host of Market Wrap and president of Compact Asset Management. Here at Compact, we provide a holistic approach to wealth management with a team of professionals ready to assist you with all of your investment and financial planning needs. We offer our clients a 3-stage process that includes customizing a portfolio to fit your specific investment needs, creating a financial plan designed to help you reach your goals, and estate planning ideas to help ensure that your hard-earned legacy is passed down the way you intended. Call me at 1-800-388-9700 and let's talk about how we can work together to enhance your overall life experience. 1-800-388-9700, 800-388-9700.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor. Funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA SIPC.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
Live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale.
Here we go.
This is KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Thursday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rhodes in the control room, and Ralph. Ralph is here from Harmon Solar.
Hi,
you
Ralph.
guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580 as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And yes, today begins week 4 of the NFL. So, of course, we'll have our NFL fan pick'em picks. And we will also have Scott E. the King with us, Fantasy Sports Writing Association Hall of Famer and a writer for the GameDay.com. And, I think Ralph is probably a little bitter because whatever advice he probably begged for last week didn't work out for him.
Well,
Randy beat him by, it was a blowout.
Half a point. And if I would have just, started my other tight end that he doesn't like, I would have scored an additional 7 or 8 points.
Was
and
it
won.
the other tight end that I don't like?
No,
The
King doesn't.
That Scott doesn't.
Who was that, by the way?
Was
his name Everett or?
Oh, he doesn't like Everett either.
He doesn't like
Chris-
Hunter
Chris
Henry. I know
Everett?
that, and I have him.
He doesn't. He doesn't like most tight ends.
Yeah, so I started Ertz, who got 2 points, and Everett got 9 points, and that's all I would have needed to beat Randy because he beat me by 0.8 of a point.
Hey, W is a W.
0.8.
W is a W.
Andy,
and,
I feel you
you know what,
cheated.
though?
I feel you cheated somehow. I don't know how, but
I cheated.
I
Listen,
gotta find
Ralph,
out.
that is what you get for trusting another Seahawks fan.
I don't.
Because clearly they don't know anything. So
I don't know anything about fantasy football except what Jeffrey's been teaching me, and
Don't give Jeffrey
that's,
credit.
that's about it.
no, I don't deserve any
that's about all I
credit for
have
that. In fact,
right
this
there. So,
this sign that Miss Kim and Randy gave me that says "Fantasy Football Legend" should probably be hanging around Randy's neck right now.
Right,
Oh,
now, right now it should. I like to put it around his neck.
way too early in the season to be saying anything. And Ralph, don't be bitter. Don't be bitter.
Randy, you had a good week.
Don't be bitter.
You
Yeah,
won
I know.
fantasy. Your
Yeah.
somewhat NFL football team won a game. I mean,
No, it's definitely an NFL football team. Yeah.
yeah, I mean that's impressive. You know what it is? I was on your side last week,
Is
and
that
you
what it
won.
was?
Yeah,
Ah,
absolutely.
I see.
All it
Okay.
took was me.
Oh, is that it? It
Yeah.
was you. It was your karma.
Wait a minute.
It was my
Randy
karma.
actually did get advice from me in fantasy football, and you said don't let him take the credit, but you're going to sit there and take credit for the Arizona Cardinals finally winning the game. Well, yes, that's what he does.
I told him they would win, just like I told you if Minshew played, you guys would win. So I was 100% right.
Even though
I
he
did
literally
not
took
believe.
it back an hour later. You
Yeah,
know,
you did.
I did take it back an hour later because it made me all sweaty and itchy. But
you
still,
didn't even wear that gear for a whole hour. I mean, you were on the
Oh,
air.
it
and
was-
then when we went to the last break, man. You dodged that stuff. It's
it was
probably
burning
still,
holes in my skin. I had to
probably
take it
still
off.
burning in your backyard. It probably, it
Whoa.
was part of a dump fire that you burned in the backyard.
Speaking of dump fires, who are the Seahawks playing this week?
The Giants Monday night.
Oh, thanks. 888-368-1580. Stockton Slap is on the text line. Says, happy Thursday, boys. Saw the president's motorcade in the freeway today on my way to work. He had about 100 vehicles around him, and he had the freeways blocked off. Who does this guy think he is? The Pope? Yeah, I hate when they do that. It's like, you tell me you can't just get a helicopter just to take him from one point to the other and not tear up traffic all damn day. I hate when either side of the aisle does that sort of thing. Hate it. Big George says, hello, gentlemen. Happy Thursday. I know he's going to be on Diamondbacks losing today, but they won yesterday, and that's all right. So we'll be plus one game on that. So
That's it. Your bet's over.
Maybe my bet's over.
That's it. We're done. You guys lost today, so there's no way that the Diamondbacks can
Oh,
finish
yeah.
better than 10 and a half out. So you are now officially lost.
Okay.
So you owe me.
I can't remember what I owe you. Pizza?
No,
I
it
think
was
it
a
lunch bet?
Keon has it.
Yeah, whatever
it
it
was
is.
either a nice. I think it was either a
He
nice
owes
lunch
me
or
a
dinner.
steak dinner. So
Yeah, it was a nice dinner.
you know, it was not a dinner. It was
Okay, then it was
a
a
lunch.
lunch. It was a lunch. Hold on.
So you owe me dinner.
Keon
I owe
has
you
it.
lunch.
I'm going to trust Keon before I trust you.
If we're going to eat together, I'm just going to request you don't wear Seahawks stuff, so I'll have an appetite. That's all.
Yeah,
I'm
it
asking.
was a nice lunch.
Yeah.
Nice lunch.
So Blissful Hayes says, now that the XFL and USFL have officially merged, how long before the NFL merges with the WWE? It's not going to happen. The NFL doesn't need to merge with anybody. Mr. Wilbur says, get me a double shot of whiskey, Randy, so I can keep the buzz going from yesterday. Or was it Tuesday? Whatever day it was. I like the Cardinals 21 and 49ers 14. All
Yeah,
right.
that's a
There you
good
go.
call. I
Calling
like
a
that.
shot.
Wow.
That's a good call.
You
Yeah.
drinking?
Blissful Hayes says, when will the coronation be for Royal Ralph? There's no coronation.
There should be a coronation. Absolutely.
Blissful Hayes' lips are so firmly on your ass. I can't. He has to type because he can't talk. So we're doing our NFL fan pick'em picks today, and if you've been keeping up with everything, the only thing that I see that's relevant at this moment is that David Montgomery and Taylor Decker are not going to play tonight. So if you're counting on David Montgomery for the Lions or for your fantasy football, nope, he's not going to be playing. That's the last word was there. So as far as the Packers go, let me check. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is still out. So you will not have Aaron Rodgers tonight.
You mean Aaron Jones?
No, I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers. He had his Achilles.
Oh, he's on the
a
Jets.
He was,
now.
Jet.
I saw a thing said he's going to try to make it for the game. So I checked. It said no, he's still out.
No,
So he's not
I
going to
don't.
play.
no, he doesn't play. Never mind.
He no longer plays for the Packers. So even if he could play,
Yeah.
he
Oh,
would not
wait.
play for the Packers.
Oh, does Taylor Swift play for the Jets?
No.
She's going to play this weekend.
She will be at the game versus the Jets. Yeah, but she will not be
playing with the
either.
Chief.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, one again,
tomahawk
a
action.
little game of one-on-one, but
Not
football. Not football.
And she's chopping that wood pretty quick, isn't she? Last Optimist says, I think the loser of the Bears Broncos game should be relegated to the XFL and the St. Louis team promoted. People are always saying somebody should be relegated. The last time I would have supported relegation was the Browns back when they couldn't win nothing for a couple of years. Now I don't think I'm prepared to relegate anything. Niner Napolis says, no, I'm just tuning in and barely caught someone's prediction of Cardinals 21, 49ers 14. And then I proceed to ask for a double shot there. I think they've already had enough. Cut them off. No chance that's going to happen, says Niner Napolis.
Well,
I hate to agree with him, but yeah.
to wait for my pick.
Oh God.
Fifth letter says, Jeffrey, can you send me the link for the Harmon Solar? Pick 'em. I can't find the original one you sent before the season. I haven't been playing. Well, you could still play every week even if you didn't start on time, or if you've missed some, you can still play every week to try to win an NFL jersey. That's still there on the table for you. But I don't have time to send you a link. So go to 1580thefanatic.com right there on the front page. Scroll down. You'll find all the information and links you need. Fifth letter. Wilbur says, if you want to crown Ralph, then crown his ass. His Dodgers will not win the World Series.
I prefer my ass not get crowned.
Ralph is who we thought he was.
Yeah.
A winner? Yes.
Bruno Baller says, glad to see Randy's feeling better today. Look forward to his Cardinals pick.
Thank you. Tylenol is a hell of a drug.
Blissful Hayes is right about one thing. He says Taylor Swift couldn't do any worse than Justin Fields as the Bears quarterback. Well, I thought you were going to say better than the Jets quarterback.
Zach
Smarmy
Wilson.
Mom Bleeper. What's his name?
Zach Wilson. And,
Thank you.
Mom bleeper.
I can't ever remember these guys' names.
and Zach Wilson
The
has
coyote tamer.
Yeah.
Zach Wilson has every other quarterback is looking at him and just dying right now to just have anything remotely like the team he has around him.
Any quarterback?
Every quarterback. If you could
quarterback.
transport the team that the Jets have
Yeah.
to your team and keep your quarterback, you're a contender almost immediately.
Even Carson Wentz.
Well, he's not in the
unemployed.
league.
Yeah.
I mean, I said in the league.
I didn't hear
No,
that.
Carson Wentz would not do better.
Carson Wentz would happily play for the Jets right now.
Carson Wentz would happily play for the St. Louis Battlehawks.
He would happily play for
He'd happily play for
I
the
don't even know who
DC
that
Defenders. I mean, it's just
Dysart high school team. Right now. He would. You could get him cheap.
So has anybody heard any rumors on what really is happening on this merger between the USFL and the XFL? Which side is the dominant side, and how this whole thing is looking to pan out? Has there been? We heard the announcement, but I haven't really heard anything since then.
I mean, if the Rock is involved, he's going to be the dominant side. I mean, have you seen the guy? I mean, wouldn't you be afraid to negotiate with this guy? He would give you that look first of all. And then he hit you with that smell. He would start doing that business, and then it's all over. And the smoke goes on, and lights go on. He rips his clothes off. He's down to his wrestling G-string or whatever the hell you call it, and he just comes in on you. I mean, Rock is going to be the dominant side.
No, listen. The Rock is fine in a movie, and the Rock is fine on a talk show. I mean, The Rock is fine wrestling, but as far as running a business, this was a tax write-off from day one. There's no way this was anything more than a tax write-off from day one. Nobody believes, or did believe, that this was going to turn into anything.
I think people did, because you wouldn't put it on TV if you didn't think it was anything or could be anything, even if it was just like a nice little summer ratings boost while the NFL's not around. At least they thought it might be that, and it's not even that.
All right, we have an update because Mystery Girl says, hey, wait a second. Is this David Montgomery news recent? She says, right now I see that he's suiting up. I'm looking at the NFL.com, and right there, as of 6:38 this morning, it says
he is expected to suit up versus the Packers. Well, that is contrary to what the information I got from the NFL also this morning. So good question. We're going to have to go a little deeper. Can you maybe dig a little bit on that, Keon, and let me know about David Montgomery for the Lions? I just trusted the report I got from what I thought was a reputable source. So thank you, Mystery Girl, for the heads up. We'll look at that again. And I'm sure Scott E. the King will have some input on that as well. Tiger Paws wants to know if Aaron Jones is playing or not. That's another one that is sort of flopping around, and we are not sure. I was under the impression he would not play. Let's see. I'm checking that one.
The David Montgomery news as of an hour ago, per Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network, is that he is expected to suit up versus the Packers. I don't know what his workload's going to be, but he's suiting up.
I got Aaron Jones also expected to play against the Lions. So let's double check those things. Let's just really make sure, be ready to click your button on your backup if necessary. We're looking at two running backs who are questionable, who are having some nagging injuries. Maybe not your best play. I don't know. Just because they're ready to suit up doesn't mean that they're going to. I always get itchy putting the guy in after he's coming back from any kind of an injury, depending on what it is. I know David Montgomery, it was hamstring. What was the injury on Aaron Jones?
It was also a hamstring.
Okay. Again, I would like to have heard how they both were in practice, how things panned out. So, the hamstring is a nagging thing, like everybody's mother-in-law, a very nagging thing that will just sort of hang around for a long time. And just, maybe it's just the thing they were trying to help him rest through and try to get, but it's always going to kind of be there. So I guess, David Montgomery, Aaron Jones, I mean, they're both great running backs.
When healthy is
if you got another option, you might want to think about it. If you have no other option, well, then it doesn't matter. Just, go for it. Like if you're talking about Aaron Jones or David Montgomery up against a no-name guy or a lower level guy or a committee guy, I probably roll the dice. But you know what? That is a good question for Mr. The King, fantasy football expert that we're going to have on in the next hour. Fish Tank says, not only injuries, but I also try not to play guys on Thursday nights unless they're kickers. It always kind of a sloppy game. Yeah, that's right. Sloppy games probably lend themselves more to wide receivers than it does for running backs. That's a good point. Big George has a question for Ralph.
Okay.
What do you, Ralph, think of the Phoenix Suns getting Grayson Allen from Milwaukee? Do you think he provides some much needed toughness and villainy to the Suns?
I mean, I think Grayson Allen's a tool.
Yeah, we all do.
I think you needed toughness, but I think you got the wrong guy. You got a guy that's going to be a problem, who's an absolute a-hole. I just think it's a bad thing. I haven't heard you guys talk about it. I'm assuming you guys all feel that thing too. But
so what we felt was, what I felt was, there's more coming. This can't be the end of what happens, because you gave up DeAndre Ayton for a motley crew of who? Grayson Allen, tough playing clown ass. I just don't care about him. Right. The center that came down,
Yusuf Nurkic.
Right, that guy.
He's not bad.
He's a nice bench playing kind of guy.
No, he's a starter. He is a starter. The thing, there are literally 3 to 4, 5 elite centers in the league.
You tell me how I see him. You tell me.
Well, it's not how you see him. He's only ever started in the league.
Well, he's a bench player on the Lakers.
I mean, okay, yeah, because you have one of the 4 elite centers in basketball.
You got a praying mantis.
Everybody else, if you don't
right?
have Embiid, Jokic, Davis, everybody else is just a starter that you start.
I'm curious to see how the new center does. Really don't care about Grayson Allen, and then the rest of them, okay, whatever. I guess I'm just sort of not believing this is the end of it.
I think Grayson Allen won't be there very long, personally.
No.
I don't see that lasting.
I'm sure that there's more coming. If there's not more coming,
like he gives you a 3-point shooter to help stretch the floor.
That was somebody just saying, please take this guy.
That's not you know, that
we have a Hanson brother
because he is a good basketball player. Like, it's not like he can't play. It's just he comes with all the other stuff
It's upside
that you don't really want. And it's not, and I don't think that what he gives you, at least for me, is enough to offset the fact that he's going to probably miss 5 games for elbowing a guy in the chin.
If he stays in Phoenix, I'll make my prediction right now. You probably should write this down. Within his first year here in the Valley, at some point, at some night in downtown Scottsdale, he will be thrown through a window. That is my prediction.
Probably will.
I wouldn't bet against you on that one.
Blissel Hayes says Justin Fields and Zach Wilson will be playing. Oh, in the USXFL next year. Oh, okay. I thought you were just giving us a health update, but that's
Nah, I mean, I think the Bears probably end up cutting ties with Justin Fields, and I'm sure somebody is going to look at the athleticism and give him a shot.
Get him on the Jets.
Trevor Siemian is playing football right now for a team. I mean, it's what are we doing? Like, the guys that fail in the league don't automatically just fall out of the league.
He's not starting though.
Like, he's been around, is what he's saying, and
he's that's what I'm saying. Justin Fields is going to probably become that until he can earn another chance to maybe try and do something.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like I told you guys the last 2 years, I don't think he's that good.
Y'all know how long Blake Bortles was in this league before he finally fell out? Years.
27 seasons.
I mean,
Blake
Charlie Whitehurst was in
Bortles.
the league for years too.
Yeah.
there's a lot of
$1
clipboard guys.
Niner Napolis says, please no more Grayson Allen talk. I like Happy Randy. I also like Randy's bold sound effect, those Cardinals predictions. But for some reason, I think I'm going to hate it this week.
If you're a Niner fan, you're definitely not
He
going
says, before you do it, Randy, I need a double shot of Tito's, please, first.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
All right.
Take care of that, man.
Not doing that right away, but here you go.
Fifth letter, he did find the Harmon Solar NFL Fan Pick'em contest link at 1580fanatic.com. He says, hey, Ralph, I'm eligible for a Caleb Williams USC jersey. If I win a week of Pick'em, I'm in.
Man, it was fun watching him last week.
Fifth letter, it's NFL jerseys. I mean,
You can't get college? You'd be able to get college.
You can ask Nick LaCapria, I guess. I mean,
come on, Nick.
If you win, send it in. I support you. We'll see what happens.
That'd be awesome.
It says NFL.
I need one of those.
Blissel Hayes says the Suns need to sign Drew Holiday. He actually plays defense. Niner Napoles, stand by for Randy's epic Cardinals prediction. That'll be coming up here in a little bit.
Yeah.
When we come back, we're going to do all of our NFL fan pick'em picks. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. The best way to start betting smarter is to sign up for a free VSiN subscription at vsin.com/subscribe. That's vsin.com/subscribe.
Thursday Night Football tonight. The Green Bay Packers hosting the Detroit Lions. Detroit favored by 2.5 points on the road, -104 against the spread. Packers -118 on the money line. The Lions -132. Green Bay +112. The over/under at Lambeau 45.5. Both teams at 2-1 on the season. The Arizona Cardinals will be on the road to take on the San Francisco 49ers. The Niners favored by 14 points at Levi's Stadium, -900 on the money line. Arizona +610. The over/under at 44.5. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go: shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms: irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with 0 down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
Are you ready for the NFL season? Are you ready to win $1,580 in cold hard cash?
Sign up today for the Harmon Solar 1580 The Fanatic NFL Fan Pick'em Contest. Get over to 1580thefanatic.com and sign up today. Someone needs to win this $1,580 first prize. Why not you? Finish in second place. Cha-ching! You win $500. The Harmon Solar 1580 The Fanatic NFL Fan Pick'em Contest. Sign up today at 1580thefanatic.com.
Okay, this is a text I did not expect. It said, bring on the Bosnian Beast, F. DeAndre Ayton. Good Lord.
Well, okay then.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Look, he's a solid player. He's a solid player, and he's going to be able to do things that Ayton can't do, like make space for the actual guys who are going to be scoring the basketball on this team.
You know what's going to be funny is watch Ayton. He's wherever he goes, he's going to all of a sudden be the guy.
Well, because the thing is,
this was a bad fit for him.
He is going to be the guy. It's him and Scoot Henderson up in Portland. There are no other option. It's going to be DeAndre Ayton's problem in Phoenix was that he didn't get enough touches. Oh, he's got plenty. I mean, he's definitely in that club of guys that could just score 30 a game on the fact that, I don't know what to do. Let's just give it to DeAndre and see what happens.
The question is, will it change for the better or will it change for worse? And I guess we'll get to see if you happen to watch any Trailblazers games, because those are always exciting. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time now to do our Harmon Solar NFL Fan Pick'em picks. And boy, we got some eclectic matchups this weekend. Hold on. What do you think? Well, what do you think the best matchup is? Right, we were thinking it would be Miami and the Bills, right? What other matchups are good? You know what I mean? Seems like a lot of lopsided stuff.
I think the Baltimore Cleveland game is going to be a good game to watch.
No, you're right. Good job. That's good.
You
Yes.
think there's a lot of lopsided stuff?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
I think this is one of the toughest weeks I've seen yet.
Yeah.
Okay. The Chiefs are going to just, these are our picks, so let's just do them. I'm going to say, I see quite a few lopsided games here.
I kind of agree with Ralph, honestly.
Let's do it in order. Let's say tonight, this one is not lopsided. It's, remember that line from The Breakfast Club? Pathetic and sad, but social. That's what this one is. It's the Detroit Lions taking on the Green Bay Packers. Yes, both teams are 2-1. But not like who you say is a good 2-1. You know what I mean? It's not amazing, but Green Bay is at home, and the Detroit Lions are coming to town. So you go first, Keon. Why don't you tell me who your pick is on this one?
Yeah, this is one of those where I'm kind of waffling back and forth because I thought both teams have played really.
Now I'm hungry for waffles.
Waffles are a great food. I've just gone back and forth on it because the Packers have looked good in just about every way. They protected Jordan Love. I think Matt LaFleur schemed a lot of receivers wide open. And now with Christian Watson coming back, it actually gives a guy that can separate without scheme. He's just that fast to Jordan Love. But the Lions are big time play team, and they push the ball down the field. And even in games that they lose, they continue to do that. So I'm gonna take the Lions on this one, and the way that they play football, that aggressive, aired out style.
All right, thank you, Keon. Welcome to the Waffle House, Randy. Are you going to have waffles, or are you for sure going to have what you want to have?
Yeah, I'll keep it simple. Both teams are struggling this year. They're missing some of their key players for one reason or another. But I've got my money on Green Bay tonight. Their defense, they're at home. And Jordan Love has been so far, he hasn't been like spectacular, but he led a comeback of this team last week. So confidence is pretty high. So give me Green Bay.
All right, Ralph, what do you think?
I'm going to go back to week 1 and pretend like they haven't played 3 games. I mean, that's the only way I can do this. I think Detroit's a better team on paper. I expect them to be a better team this season. Green Bay, I don't believe in so many of these 2-1s. I mean, I just don't believe in them. So I'm going Detroit in this game.
I'm on Detroit as well. I just feel like it's aggression for me. There's a certain balance that you can see with Green Bay and with Detroit. Even though this is at home for the Packers, I just feel like these knee biters are going to come in there and just assert their will. All right, so there you go. There's your Thursday night football, and that will be on tonight at 4:30 p.m. right after the Daily Blender. Let's go on to the next game on our station, and that is the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars at 6 a.m., and that is happening in jolly old England. You can also watch the Disney Pixar version on Disney Plus, where instead of seeing actual people, it's the Toy Story characters running around playing the game. So I do want to see that. I do want to see how well they do that technology. I am curious about it. But outside of that, that's the only care I have in the world for this horrible game. Atlanta Falcons, Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, you could flip a rusty coin. I just don't care. Does anybody care about this game? You got any fantasy? I mean, I think Bijan Robinson, somebody's got him, right? So, oh, that's right, Ralph. I'm playing you in fantasy football this week.
And I hate that they're playing this game. And I hate that they do this when they go to Europe and play football games. The fields suck. And it's hard to get good footing. And there's all these issues that happen. And just, who do you pick in this game? I want to take Atlanta because I think they have potential to be a really good team and they can run all over Jacksonville. But Jacksonville should be better than what they're showing. So, again, this is one of those games where, like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm going to take Atlanta because I think maybe the running game and just hopefully they could just drive it down Jacksonville's throat. But it won't surprise me if Trevor Lawrence goes out there and has a great game and they win the game.
Right.
I'm taking Jacksonville just because they're the home horrible team. So, makes no difference.
Well, they do play in London a lot.
Randy?
I feel like Jacksonville has got the edge here because they what Keon just says. It seems like every season they're in London, one game or two. I mean, every season they seem to end up over there.
Oh, did you hear the threats? They're talking about taking the Jaguars out of Jacksonville. And they're like, if we leave, you'll never get another team. They're trying to muscle it for a stadium. And then the community's like, no, thank you. So Jacksonville,
they only get like 5 home games a year.
I know, right?
They may end up just going to London as it is. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just because I feel like Jacksonville's probably got a routine down. Most of these players have played over there. They know what to expect. But then again, Atlanta, man's got Bijan Robinson. They've got the tight end, Kyle Pitts. They've been playing somewhat better this year. See, I'm with Ralph. I think I'll just go, just because of the familiarity, I'll take the Jaguars.
Yeah, listen, here's what they have to expect, Randy. Bad tasting food with pasty women who have bad teeth. So
wow,
that's pretty easy to sort out after you've been there a few times. Keon?
Yeah, I'm taking Jacksonville as well. I agree with Ralph that they've underachieved massively so far this season. And Trevor Lawrence hasn't been bad. I know the numbers aren't great, but I was looking at some of the Pro Football Focus stuff, and they were basically saying his receivers are just dropping a crap ton of passes. Like he's putting them on them. Remember when we thought Christian Kirk was going to actually be bad? That wasn't last year. That's this year. Now he's turned back into regular Christian Kirk who can't catch anything. But I do think that Calvin Ridley's still there. I do think that they've got some good things going on with Evan Ingram. They're going to turn this thing around. And I do think that Atlanta, because of the style of football that they play running the football, it's hard for them to pull off comebacks if they fall into a deficit. I'm taking the Jags.
All right, there you go. Next game that is on 1580 The Fanatic is on at 9:30 or so a.m. It's the Miami Dolphins taking on the Buffalo Bills. This is probably one of the better contests you are going to see this weekend. Of course, the other one that Randy mentioned also on at the exact same time because NFL. Anyway, so let's talk about this. The Dolphins taking on the Bills, Randy. You got Josh Allen, who, even though they're 2-1, doesn't feel like he's really sort of gelled just right yet. But the Miami Dolphins, holy and fuego, they are lighting it up all over the place. So, who do you got on this one?
Well, I mean, this like we've been saying. I mean, this is difficult to call. I mean, Buffalo is the team that most of us looked at and said, there's your Super Bowl contender right there. But Miami, how do you bet against a team that just dropped 70 on another team? Even though that team, scored 20 points, they dropped 70 on the other team, and it was an NFL squad, and it was arguably a Hall of Fame coach. How do you go against? I got to take Miami in this. I know it's in Buffalo. I know it's against the Bills. I know Bills Mafia, but I got to go with Miami on this one.
I am going Buffalo. I don't feel like that Josh Allen can, be held back. And I don't think this Buffalo team can be held back much longer. I think they're going to start to become the Bills that we know they can be and we thought they were going to be. And I think at home is a perfect place for that to happen. So I'm saying yay on the Bills. Ralph?
I mean, you guys are talking like Buffalo hasn't played well, like especially last week. I thought putting up 37 against Washington to me was more impressive than putting 70 against a really bad Broncos team. I don't know. That's just me. I think that way I was really impressed with their defense last week. I thought Josh Allen played a lot better. I do like Miami. I think they've played really well out of the gate. I think they're going to have a fall this week, and I think Buffalo wins this game at home. I just think they're a better team.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying they've played like Seahawk level football, Ralph.
No one plays that well.
I'm just saying that they came out shaky, is what we're saying. Keon, what do you say?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Miami, and for the sole reason of Mike McDaniel seems like he's so far ahead of every NFL defense right now.
Yeah,
it's hard for me to pick against him until someone figures out how to stop it, and someone will. It's the NFL. Last year he seemed like he was ahead, and then about the halfway point of last season, teams got the film on what the Dolphins were doing, came up with some ways to take them down. But the Dolphins have put up points against bad defenses. They put up points against really good defenses, put up 24 against New England. That's a good defense. So I just think that what the Dolphins bring to the table, I mean, Mike McDaniels is scheming these guys open to where Tua is throwing to guys who are Alabama open in the NFL. I've never seen anything like that 3 games in a row in the National Football League. I'm taking the Dolphins.
All right. Let's move now to Sunday Night Football here on the radio station. We got the Kansas City Chiefs going to town to beat the New York Jets.
Okay, we have your pick.
I think I have everyone's pick.
I think you have everyone's pick, yeah.
Let's move right along.
Let's play the game, though.
How many times is Chris Jones going to hit Zach Wilson? That's really the only question I have is what's the over-under, 3 or 4 sacks?
I can't wait to see that. But so I know we're all picking that, but go ahead and give us your input beyond that. Randy, what do you say about this? What is going to be the key feature of the demise of the Jets this week?
I think they'll be spending more time talking about Kelsey and Swift than they will about the football game. This is going to be a yawner, in my opinion. I know the New York defense is a pretty good defense, but I mean, that offense is just, they're infighting. Everybody's upset. They can't seem to get this kid, Zach Wilson, tuned in. He's still a gunslinger, but he doesn't know where the hell he's throwing the ball. Kansas City by a large margin.
The big question I have is how long will trying to impress Taylor Swift actually help the Chiefs? At what point do they get like, all right, she's up there again?
Is that what they're doing?
Yeah.
I don't think that's what they're doing, but don't think that this is not a coincidence or anything that Travis Kelce invited Taylor Swift to a game where he knew they were going to beat down the other team. Absolutely, he invited her to New York to go impress her. That absolutely happened.
She lives there.
She lives there,
Taylor
but also
Swift,
she travels a lot.
Taylor Swift's going to score more than the Jets this week.
Hello.
I guarantee you.
Yeah,
you are 100% correct.
We all have the Chiefs easily on this one. All right, so now we get to talk about Ralph's game at the same time we talk about Monday Night Football because somebody at NFL scheduling is high. But all right, so Keon, I'll let you start on this one. The Seattle Seahawks are 2-1. I know, I was surprised too. And the New York Giants are 1-2. Nobody's surprised about that. So who do you have in this contest of the mediocre?
I don't think the Seahawks are a mediocre team.
You're not helping.
And I know, but that's just a fact. And I'm not surprised that they're 2-1 because they have a quality defense. There are some holes here and there, but it's nothing that keeps them from winning games. And their ability to run the football and run plays off of play action for Geno, where he's throwing to probably, I don't know, one of the 2 or 3 best wide receiver rooms in the entire NFL with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. And the Giants haven't shown an actual ability to stop anybody that's putting the ball in the air. Like they are getting torched in every avenue that exists on the defensive side of the football, which is weird because they actually have a really good defensive front. But regardless, yeah, I can't pick against the Seahawks right now. The Giants are just real bad.
Randy, the Rainy City Bitch Pigeons against an accountant and some ne'er-do-wells for the New York Giants. What do you got?
The visiting team will win.
All right. I'm just going to say, I'm going to say the Seahawks. It's not so much that they're good, but the Giants are that bad. Oh, that's what I'll just give you right here. So, wait, I think Ralph might want to turn on this.
So all I'm going to say, like last week, the Seahawks had 8 starters out, and they still won, and the offense still put up 37 points, and 4 of their starters were offensive line. One of them's coming back, maybe 2, and Jamal Adams is making his first start of the year. That's going to be huge on the defense. Him in the lineup makes that defense so much better. This is an easy win for the Seahawks. They have to get into a hard schedule in about 2 weeks, so they need to get these games and they need to win these games. This is a win. Not worried about it at all. I'd say Seahawks probably win by at least 14 points.
If a tree falls in the NFL forest, it's the Seahawks. That's the Seahawks. Anyway, all right. So we are now done with. We have a lot of games this week here on 1580 The Fanatic. We've got more games to pick when we come back, and also your texts as well. They are trickling in. A little bit of hatred for Ralph. A little bit of hatred for everybody.
Surprising.
It's a daily blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
It's Raymond and Austin. We're back on All Star Sports Radio, celebrating their 30th year. Our sportsbook and casino sponsor, BetUS.com, is offering a 125% sign-up bonus plus up to 30 risk-free bets.
It's called Bet Protect, the perfect offer for crazy plays, like the famous butt fumble. It's the GOAT of embarrassing plays.
Really, remember when you bet me you could do a live show with a GOAT as your co-host and he face-kicked you?
Thankfully, I didn't take the under on that one.
Anyway, folks, get Bet Protect today, the industry's biggest 125% sign-up bonus plus up to 30 risk-free bets. BetUS.com, where the game begins.
Ian Eagle here from Thursday Night Football on Westwood One. NFC North action ahead this week from Green Bay with Jordan Love and the Packers coming off a 3-score fourth quarter comeback win. Now they host Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions, who also moved to 2-1 with a victory on Sunday. Join me and newly inducted Hall of Famer Joe Thomas on Thursday Night Football.
Right here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Wendy's new breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie bundles let you create your own delicious combo. Choose from a sausage biscuit, egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, and a medium hot coffee. But it's obvious which combo's the best. Sausage biscuit and small seasoned potatoes. Well, maybe it's the fresh cracked egg and cheese biscuit with a medium hot coffee. Or 2 savory sausage biscuits. Whichever you pick, you can't go wrong. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new 2 for $3 Biggie bundles.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Single item at regular price.
Thursday Night Football is on, and it's only on Prime. Tonight, an NFC North rivalry is renewed when Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions head to Lambeau Field to take on Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. Not a Prime member? Sign up for a 30-day free trial to stream the game. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern with TNF Tonight, presented by Verizon. It's the Lions and the Packers tonight on Thursday Night Football, and it's on Prime. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The new iPhone 15 Pro with titanium is here. Switch to my plan from Verizon at your local store today, and you'll get the amazing new iPhone 15 Pro on us with Unlimited Ultimate when you trade in any iPhone, any model, any condition. Guaranteed. Yep, even the old phone in your pocket right now. It's your Verizon. $999.99, 128 gigabyte only. Device payment purchase or full retail purchase with new smartphone line on Unlimited Ultimate plan required. Less $1,000 trade-in or promo credit applied over 36 months. Promo credit ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. 0% APR.
Greg Clark Automotive, trained certified technicians, located on the southwest corner of Bethany Home and 19th Avenue, servicing Valley automobiles 44 summers now, offering our summer cooling system inspection diagnosis on the belts, water pump, radiator, and hoses. Every air conditioning service includes a dye injection to find leaks. Contact us today at 602-246-2881. and online at gregclarkautomotive.com. Mention 1580 and get 10% off of labor.
Your home for sports. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. And this hour brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. BetUS celebrating 30 years with a special football season offer. Up to 30 risk-free bets. It's called Bet Protect. Get started today at BetUS.com. 888-368-1580. Let's check the text line here real fast before we get back to our picks. And let's see here. Bruno Baller says the game tonight, Packers and Lions, actually might be pretty good. Yeah, I think so. I think it'll be all right. I don't think it's going to be amazing or anything, but it'll be all right. Fish Tank says Ralph saying Buffalo had more impressive offensive game than a team that scored 70 points may go down as the dumbest thing you've ever said on this show.
Oh boy.
Which is impressive since you say back crap insane stuff all the time.
Oh boy.
Don't get butthurt because I said it about your team. That's okay. Trust me.
He's
You're going
not
to
gonna
lose this week, and then we'll talk about it next week.
He's not going to be butthurt about anything, man.
Yeah, he's butthurt. So what? You put 70 points up on a really bad team.
You know the
So
Dolphins are
what?
good this year.
No, they
know
are.
that.
They are. There's no
It's
doubt
just-
they're
it's
good,
just
but
we
please.
haven't seen a team put up 70 points on any bad team since
Well, the
1966.
Broncos just gave up. That's just bad coaching, bad players, bad everything. They just gave up. I mean,
I think the Dolphins are legit good, but the
They are.
Broncos are legit bad.
oh, I totally agree.
Did anybody see the jersey swap that the Broncos and Dolphins players had after the game?
No.
The Dolphins receivers were swapping jerseys with the Broncos corners, and Patrick Surtain, the Broncos corner, looked like he wanted to die. He
shouldn't have done the switch.
He was doing it to be polite, I think.
No,
but
you just walk out, get your ass in the
but
locker room quick.
They were all smiling, and just his eyes looked so dead.
And I'm just going to say, Fish Tank, you have a good team right now. After 3 weeks, you have a really good team. Talk to me after 10 weeks. And if you can still be good after 10 weeks, then we can have a discussion.
And
It's
they,
3 weeks.
and they will be
So
if,
is
if
it the
Tua's still
who gets
alive
hurt
after
first
10
thing?
weeks.
Well, you know how it is in the NFL. Those teams that start real hot, Arizona Cardinals, 8-0 one year, and then what happens? They fall apart. Happens all the time. So
I mean, it happens all the time.
Be
Why you
excited.
always got to use? Why you always going to use my team?
because that's the example. I mean,
Just
I
because
don't
we
know.
beat your ass every year at least once. I mean, what? It's no reason to be bitter.
I was just bringing up facts, but I mean,
Just
yeah,
because I beat you in fantasy football, you shouldn't. You don't have to be mean.
I'm a
about
little
it.
pissed about that. I'm not going to lie.
Well, hey, you'll get over it. Game's over.
Lost Toby.
We're on to Pittsburgh, man.
Lost Toby says, glad to see Randy's still okay and alive. Fifth
Thank you.
letter.
Something happened, Randy?
Fifth letter says, Ralph, don't trip. I don't hate you. However, your baseball team will definitely choke come October, as long as Kershaw's in the dugout.
I mean, we'll see. Like I said, I don't think they have the pitching to win the World Series, but
He
they're
said,
really-
don't
they're
trip,
really-
Ralph. He said, don't trip.
Well, he's not.
Ralph, don't trip.
I'm not tripping.
I just enjoying saying don't trip. I haven't said or heard that since the 90s.
Yeah, I haven't tripped since the 90s. So
Yo, you be straight tripping, boo. Niner Annapolis says, I'm curious of Ralph's thoughts.
It has never sounded
Boo?
wider. It's
Yeah.
I've ruined it now for
Yeah, I've ruined it.
I have
Like, wow.
ruined it for all black people
it's just gone
on
now.
the globe.
very white.
The entirety of all black people just felt a shudder like
No,
Look at the-
if you want to hear
like
why,
Alderaan just exploded. It's like, we can't say that anymore. O'Brien has ruined it.
there's a disturbance in the force.
Niner Annapolis says, I'm curious of Ralph's thoughts on Richard Sherman's clear support of his former 49er teammates and coaches and overall joy when he's commentating about the Niners. I'm not sure I ever hear him speak so highly of the Sea Chickens. He used to be my arch nemesis since the Super Bowl, the Crabtree speech, but he did help us win a lot of games. I guess the 49ers just have that much better culture in their locker room.
Look, people talk bad about Sherman all the time. Sherman's one of the smartest guys you'll ever listen to, and he respects the guys that that he respects. No, he is. He's a very smart guy.
He's smart, but he's
he was
not
a
as smart as he thinks he is.
He was a great cornerback, one of the best of all time, no doubt, on one of the best defenses of all time. And, he was at the end of his career at the Niners, and he respects what they're doing there. I respect what the Niners are doing there. I hate the Niners, but you know what? They're a great team. They have great ball players. They've done a good job there. I'll give you that. I hope you burn in hell. I mean, down at the end of the season. But at the same time, I mean, I'm going to respect that you're good. I mean, and he respects it too. But he's a diehard Seahawks guy. He hangs around the Seahawks. He does a lot of stuff with them this year. So
yeah, he goes drinking with him, drives over to
And I noticed that Richard Sherman has been a lot more complimentary of the Seahawks since Russ has been gone.
Yeah, since Russ has gone, all the old guys
really just didn't like Russell Wilson.
The Legion of Boom has come back since Russ left. I mean, so they're all over the Seahawks locker room now. They don't like him for whatever reason.
Plus, Toby says, "Why is Ralph tripping?" We have yet to figure that out. Jagdog says, "Did Aunt Flo come early this month for Ralph? He seems more negative and bitchy than normal."
I've had a bitchy week. All right, it's been that way. I'm a little bitchy. I'm not gonna lie.
There's a way to cut that.
Yeah,
no.
I think we need that as a clip.
If he's like this today,
oh no.
and if Jeffrey beats him this week, just imagine what he's going to be like next
I'm thinking about coming on tomorrow just to be a little bit more bitchy.
Oh boy,
bring it, bitch. Lacrosse guy, I can't really say that, but it was a negative thing towards Sherman. Basically, how can I even say that? Can't. Loudmouth, and he always played a zone, so not really a lockdown guy.
He was an island out there. Come on. I mean, you couldn't complete a pass, and he was one of the best tackling corners to ever play the game.
And I'm sorry, but the disrespect of guys who play defense inside of a concept has to stop. I mean,
I agree.
Sometimes the defense just works that way. You have to play in a zone.
I like Mr. Girl. She's already putting her questions in for the fantasy football expert. She's like, enough of your nonsense. This is what really matters.
I need some help.
Oh, she does, because she's asking about somebody who's playing tonight. So, all right. Respect. Know your priorities. Fantasy football is important to everybody but Ralph. 888-368-1580. Big George says, Ralph, I hope nothing but bad things towards your team after that stunt you pulled last week on Randy, pretending to be his friend. Shame on you.
Hey, it helped, didn't it?
Yeah.
Oddly,
they won.
Yeah, it oddly did.
Because I'm not doing it this week, they will lose.
George says, I forgot to enter my fan pick'em picks the last 2 weeks, but I remembered this week. So get that jersey ready for me. Oh, it'll probably shut Nick LaCapria down.
I am.
If he has to get you a jersey, there goes his entire budget for fabric.
There may not be enough fabric to make a jersey for you, Big George, but that's all right. You're my guy. I don't care.
Lacrosse is not a lacrosse guy. He's upset because I didn't say the word that was on there. He says, that's a bad word now? Well, cancel me. I just don't know if I can say it. I don't believe I can say that on radio.
Yeah, say it.
Better safe than sorry. Listen, I'd rather be the one that gets in trouble. So, Lost Toby says Ralph caught whatever Randy had yesterday. Hangover? All right. Listen, we got to get back to our picks. My God, we're running out of time. I can't. I'm like, why did I read all these texts? We don't have our picks done.
Running out of time.
Mine's done. I'm good.
All right. You know what? I'm going to do something that we don't usually do. I'm going to leap forward, and we usually do Randy's last, but we're going to do Randy's first. So make sure we don't run out of time.
Okay.
All right. This weekend, the San Francisco 49ers hosting the Arizona Cardinals. I'm going to make Ralph go first. I want to hear him say nice things about the 49ers, so it hurts. So go ahead, Ralph.
It does hurt because I hate those jagoffs. But anyway, they're going to destroy the Cardinals. This won't even be a game. I mean, this is going to be ugly beyond ugly. I'm sorry, Randy. Mm-hmm. I respect what the Cardinals have done so far this year, but you're going to get punched in the face this week because they're that good. So,
I think Jagoff was a variation of what lacrosse guy wanted me to say. I don't know if we can say either, to be honest.
I'm done. Niners.
Okay, so Keon.
Yeah, I'm taking the Niners too. I don't think any disrespect to the Cardinals necessarily. They have surprised me with how good they have looked, on the defensive side of the ball. But the Niners are they look like the best team in football this side of the Dolphins. So I don't even know. I can't pick against them. They're loaded.
I'm going to at least give you this, Randy. I feel like the San Francisco 49ers are going to have some initial trouble with the Cardinals defense. You're going to see it go to the running game more. There's going to be more check down passes out of respect for your defense. But in the end, I do believe the San Francisco 49ers will easily handle your Arizona Cardinals. So now here's Randy White with his prediction on Cardinals versus the San Francisco 49ers.
Last week, we put the NFL on its ear by defeating the Cowgirls at home at the Silver Nest. This week's trial, not so easy. The NFL is tough, and they don't take weeks off.
Well, I mean, except when it's bye week, but I guess then it's like a week off, right? So, what was I saying? Oh, yes. As we go to Santa Clara to take on the Gold Miners in their own stadium. This will be the week the Red Sea will rise and tip the NFL upside down when the Cardinals go in and once again show they are worthy of respect and they are worthy of praise. They will defeat the Gold Miners, giving them their first loss of the season. The final score in this one will be the Cardinals 28 and the Gold Miners 7. This will be our finest hours, Red Sea. Stand with me shoulder to shoulder, arm in arm, as we walk proudly into the Gold Miners Stadium in Santa Clara for what will forever be known as the shutdown of the mine in Santa Clara.
Wow.
Wow.
Nicely done, Randy.
Yeah,
Well
I
done.
just gotta say the truth.
Yeah.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
I spit truth.
It's just hard to say that this week after what they did last week.
Randy, if the Cardinals win, I will buy a Kyler Murray jersey and wear it next week.
Ooh.
That's how confident I am that you don't have a chance in hell.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
We're gonna clip that. We're gonna write that down, Keon.
I like
yeah.
that you gave Brock Purdy more of a chance than you gave Dak Prescott. You actually gave him 7. That was awfully.
Oh, listen, Brock Purdy clearly a better quarterback than Dak. Dak, he's trouble finishing the game. That is, yeah.
Gotta get him some hymns. All right, so let's continue on and get some more games done here before we run out of time. Right now, I think we can all just go around the room quickly on this one. Rams are beating the Colts, right? I got Rams beating the Colts.
Is Minshew playing?
Of course he is. Oh no, Anthony Richardson is.
Okay, then yes.
Really? I mean, he's pretty good. He just gets hurt.
I think they're better with Minshew.
Okay. We're not trying to win.
Richardson is playing. He is playing for sure.
That's what it looks like. He's been in practice, full participant. So
I don't know, man. After the Rams this past week, that day, the game, they didn't even score a touchdown. Matt Stafford couldn't even. He was so off. It was terrible. It was like he was throwing to, the people in the stands or the referees. He wasn't hitting his own receiver. And then when he did get a guy, they dropped it. I don't know. This is a tough one for me.
Really?
I got to tell you, Indiana's at home. They got a good defense. The only question here is how are the Colts going to play? If Richardson plays, I mean that's another slant. That's another wrinkle in their game plan. I mean the kid's been pretty good.
Our best offensive output's been from our Gay kicker. I mean our kicker Matt Gay. He's been scoring all the points.
No, you know what? I'm taking the blue horseshoe in this one. Taking the blue horseshoe. Yeah.
All right, Randy. Okay,
Yeah.
Ralph, Keon, are you guys on or off the Colts?
I'm on the Rams.
All right,
I'm on the Rams as well.
Really, after last week?
Yeah, because I think that look, Stafford does that though. He'll have two or three games where he's just absolutely dealing the football, and then he'll fall off of the face of the earth. But it doesn't stay that way. He usually does bounce back.
I don't know.
Okay, how about Washington Commandos taking on the Philadelphia Eagles? I feel like we should go around the room quickly on this one too. The Eagles will beat the Commandos. I'll say aye. Everybody but Keon.
Sorry, Keon.
Yeah,
Keon got he got to be a homer now. What's up?
I'm not a homer. I didn't pick my team last week.
Well, what's the deal?
I saw that ass kicking coming from miles and miles away. The Eagles are underachieving. Jalen Hurts
they're 3-0.
They are 3-0. But when I look at how they've played, how they've won those games, they didn't register a sack last week. That is ridiculous for that defense, that pass rush that they have. It's an underachieving pass rush, which I think you kind of need if you're going to go after the weakness of the Washington Commanders there. And look, I'm not confident in this pick. I could flip flop, but right now I feel pretty good about Washington. It's not an even playing field, but I do think that the big plays that Terry McLaurin and Sam Howell connect with can give them enough of a fighter's punch.
All right, no more time for analysis, but real quick on the 0-3s, Denver or Chicago?
Denver.
I got Denver. Denver. Ralph, come on, hurry up.
Chicago.
You got
You're
Chicago. Saying that
Chicago.
to be that way.
Wow.
All right, the other 0-3s, Minnesota and Carolina. I got Minnesota. Who you guys got?
Vikings.
Vikings.
I like Carolina if the Red Rifle plays.
Ralph, are you just
No, because those
so
teams
far
are
behind that you're
they're
trying
better.
to catch up?
First of all, I'm ahead of all of you. Remember who's ahead of all of you, first off. So,
By one. By one.
just saying.
All right, guys. Those are our NFL fan pick'em picks for this week. We'll be back with your fantasy football questions. It's Daily Blender on 1580 The Fanatic.
Sun Devil football returns to Mountain America Stadium to take on the Coach Prime-led Colorado Buffaloes Saturday, October 7th for ASU's Hall of Fame game. An incredible class of Sun Devil legends will be honored at halftime for their induction into the Sun Devil Athletics Hall of Fame, including Phoenix area product and NFL veteran Sean McDonald. Get your ASU Colorado tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Hey, gang, sorry I'm late. The other surgery went a little longer than anticipated.
Nah, you haven't missed much.
Oh, good. What's this guy getting? A car?
He's selling his kidney to get a new HVAC system installed.
Oh, an overpriced HVAC system. This is like the third person this week.
So you think the hot weather's over? Not if your AC isn't keeping you cool. That's why thousands of Arizonans depend on Desert Diamond Air. From 24/7 emergency service to diagnostic checkups to full replacement, Desert Diamond specializes in both residential and commercial HVAC systems with competitive pricing and experience to service and repair all major AC brands. And with federal tax credits up to $2,000, it's a great time to replace your AC system. Go to desertdiamondair.com or call 602-609-7288. That's 602-609-7288. Or search Desert Diamond Air on your mobile phone today.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Greg Clark Automotive trains certified technicians located on the southwest corner of Bethany Home and 19th Avenue, servicing Valley automobiles 44 summers now, offering our summer cooling system inspection diagnosis on the belts, water pump, radiator, and hoses. Every air conditioning service includes a dye injection to find leaks. Contact us today at 602-246-2881 and online at gregclarkautomotive.com. Mention 1580 and get 10% off of labor.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
Quiet, people, settle down. Because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
We're locked. Hey, everybody, it's Daily Blender, and it's 4 o'clock, and we're trying to get Scott Make You Tingle Ingle on the phone so we can get your fantasy football questions answered. I just thought I'd try that one out. That's right. Scott E. the King on the Twitterverse, and Fantasy Sports Writing Association Hall of Famer and writer for the Game Day. Going to answer those fantasy football questions. Already got some texts sitting here waiting to go, but as Keon tries to get him on the line, let's go with the text line. Big George just wants you to know, Randy, he says, hey, I feel like running through a wall after hearing your pick. for the Arizona Cardinals.
Don't do it, Big George. Your wife and children need you.
Yeah, that can really hurt you. A lot of people think that running through a wall is a good idea. It's generally a bad idea. Yeah. I mean, the speeches are amazing, but there's really no reason to just injure
I know
yourself.
everybody's out there just kind of vibrating right now. Just try to calm down. It's going to be okay.
Wow. What vibrating?
Yeah. When you're oscillating out there because there's so much energy and excitement. You see what I'm saying?
Thought you meant something else. 888-368-1580. We have him with us now, Scott Engel. He's Mr. the King to you. How you doing, Scott?
Good. How you doing, guys?
Great. I much surprise, my team won last week, and I appreciate the advice. You told me to stick with what I had, and I did, and it worked. I didn't overthink it. I just went with the old saying. I don't like the saying because I don't feel like it's a very manly thing to say, but it's true. Start your studs. Is it? I always thought like start your stars might be a good version of that. But I don't know. What do you say for that term?
Well, first off, I hate cliches, so I'm with you.
There you
go. As like a writer, and a journalist. Secondly, this early in the season, it's you're still deciding who those stars are, because some players who were stars last year are not living up to it. Nobody expected Raheem Mostert to be a star. I saw the guy go in the last round of some drafts.
Yeah, good point. I mean, you never know who that guy is going to be. Who do you think the guy is this year? The one that nobody saw coming, and now you're looking at it like, oh, this guy I think is the guy.
You know what? I love that you do that, because it sounds like you're watching a Major League Baseball broadcast when they say guy like 5 times within 2 sentences. Like, if you need a guy to be the guy, then that's the guy.
Well, I'm asking the guy who knows who the guy should be to be the guy. And if you're not going to tell me who the guy is to be the guy, then I don't know if you're the guy.
Wow.
I'll tell you who the guy is. My deep sleeper, and I talk about him on the GameDay.com in my sleepers column, Jalen Hyatt of the New York Giants. Pick him up now before he busts out. He's drawn scouting comparisons to Deshaun Jackson, and the Giants desperately need a playmaker in that passing game. For some reason, they're throwing to Paris Campbell, who's averaging 4.3 yards per reception. There is nobody on the Giants roster with the downfield kind of talent that Jalen Hyatt has, and he might start busting out this week.
There you go. So maybe he's the guy.
Yeah, of course, he might be the guy to be the guy if you need a guy.
And we got that right from the guy. So thank you. Are you ready to start?
I love it. I'm sorry. I know we're tight on time all the time, but it's always been a pet peeve of mine, especially when I watch baseball broadcasts, that they use that every other word. So you're right in tune with me. I love it.
I generally don't say guy, but you never know. Mystery Girl is ready. She needs your help. And of course, this has to do with players tonight. So Mystery Girl says running back, Aaron Jones or Kay Williams?
I would go with Williams. He's only one of 2 NFC running backs with 4 touchdowns from scrimmage in the first 3 games. Kenneth Walker III is the other. Not that I don't like Jones, but it's his first game back. I'd feel safer going with Kyren Williams.
She also asks if she should play Gibbs or Kamara. And she's still trying to figure out if Montgomery might play.
Montgomery is going to play, but I'd still use Gibbs. Kamara's first game back after the suspension. He's going to be in committee. I think people are overflating expectations for him. He's going to be in a committee, and the Taysom Hill's always a threat to steal goal line work. I'd much rather go with Gibbs. For Gibbs, it's not about volume. People worry about Montgomery. It's about efficiency. This guy can explode on any and every touch.
All right, let's go on to last optimist. He says, hey, for my flex, do I start Aaron Jones, Tank Dell, or Tyler Lockett?
I would go with Lockett. I'm trying to remember the stat. He's caught a touchdown pass like 4 of his last 5 road games. He's always good on the road. Seattle playing at the Giants on Monday night. I like Lockett.
Big George says, hello, Mr. the King. I enjoy your insight. Question, would you start Jerry Jeudy, Devon Achane or Matt Breida in the flex? Standard score.
I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go with a Chan. Tremendous upside. He's not going to score 51 points again, but that's going to be a high scoring affair against Buffalo. He's a speed back and a speed offense. He's the perfect fit.
Blissful Hayes says, I have a fantasy question. This is probably not going to go well. Did
Go
Kelsey?
No,
I'm not reading that. No, actually, I can't read that.
Okay.
It's too filthy.
Okay. If you
Shame
can't,
on you.
No, I got it.
Shame on you, Blissful Hayes. But the answer
Yeah.
is probably yes. Little Optimist says, for my 2 flex positions, do I start Lockett or Dell? And okay, let's just start with that. You have 2 flex positions? Wow.
Yeah, there are leagues with that. I play in a league with 3 flex positions. So,
Huh. All right,
that's not unusual. I'm certainly going Lockett. I like Dell, but Lockett's too proven. I mean, he's the only receiver in the NFL with 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns over the last 4 years. By the way, where's Ralph? I'm going to Seahawks Giants on Monday night.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I wish I could go. But I'm
Yeah.
right here supporting and getting beat up.
I picked the Seahawks. What do you want?
You guys are a bunch of.
So, Littlest Optimist was actually asking Lockett or Dell and Kamara or Jacobs.
Yeah, like I said, I'm going with Lockett. I think this will be a bounce back week for Jacobs. It's a good matchup.
There you go. Lacrosse guy says Dak Prescott or Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I can't use Prescott over Burrow. Burrow looked a little bit better, last week, especially as the game progressed. I'll probably say Burrow every week going forward.
Of course, Cincinnati is kind of shaky though. You got faith in Joe Burrow, or is there just more faith in him than Dak?
More faith in him than Dak. You nailed it.
Got it. Hefty Lefty says, are we at the point of Captain Coles, he means Cousins, starting over Jalen Hurts?
No, I think that's overthinking it a little bit. Cousins has been so good, but you don't bench Jalen Hurts, unless you go to the quarterbacks, Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes. And if you do, you got to make a trade. That's what you got to do. You don't want to be faced with this decision. Trade Cousins and try to fill in a spot of weakness. I think that's overthinking it respectfully. You got a good situation there, but I would never start Cousins over Hurts.
Hey, let me ask you a question about trades. In our leagues, we're all bastards and nobody wants to trade with anybody.
Wow.
Right.
I mean, that's just a fact. People are like, I ain't making a trade with you because it might help you. And so how do you get people to trade if everybody's just sort of letting you hang out there?
You don't worry about it. You treat it like a league where there's no trades. You just do the best that you can on the waiver wire. I play in high stakes formats like the NFFC and the FFPC where, trades are not allowed. Sometimes trades are not allowed. So, you can't force people to do what you want to do. Just save up, okay, if that's there. I'm in leagues where there are trades and nobody makes any trades.
Right.
So you just deal with it.
Okay, because I'm a bastard. I don't want to trade nobody. I just don't want to enrich anyone else because I know if they're coming.
The problem is that people never want to give fair offers, and
True.
that's the problem.
Also true.
I get so many questions on social media about trades where people are offering 3 for 1, and those things are always flawed.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we're not doing, but it's not Major League Baseball. You don't offer 3 guys for 1. We're not looking to rebuild and fill a bunch of spots and play out the season.
It's annoying.
You got to be fair.
Like,
You got to give up something to get something.
yeah, you're also like, okay, great. Now what do? I got to cut some guys, or this is just garbage you're handing me. There's no point to that.
It's not about it. When quantity for quality trades are usually low ball offered, stacked to one side. 3 mediocre or bad players for 1 really good player. That's
The
not how it
answer
works.
is no. It's Scott Engel, Fantasy Sports Writing Association Hall of Famer and writer for thegameday.com. And again, I just have to stress, if you haven't been there yet, you are missing out. Whether you're into some gambling or you're into some fantasy, that is a place you definitely need to have bookmarks
check
on
out
your
check
computer.
out my prop plays. Check out my prop plays. Smash play for tonight. Sam Laporta over 4.5 receptions. The guy set an NFL record for the most catches by a tight end in the first 3 games of his career.
There you go. You can also find him on the socials at Scott E. The King. All right, Mr. The King, let's continue on here. Swazman wants to know if Montgomery is playing tonight. Should I use him at running back?
It all depends on what your other options are. Respectfully, context is important. I have him ranked as check out our rankings over at thegameday.com too. I have him ranked as a top 25 running back, but it all depends on who else you have.
Niner Napoles says, got to start 1 half point per completion. Justin Fields, the accountant Jones, or CJ Stroud.
I would go with CJ Stroud. He's actually fourth in the NFL in completions. And if that's a stat for you, that's where you want to go.
Good Cat says, hello, gentlemen. Najee Harris, Edwards-Helaire. Wow. That's it. Yeah. Which one of those two? Najee Harris has not really been great.
Najee Harris has not played great. You're right. But you can't bet for Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He hasn't been playing great on limited carries.
He says flex, Breida, Shark, or Pickens.
We don't know if Barkley's playing until Monday night. So you have to go with Pickens.
Moist One says, okay, I'm not reading it. Well, I'll read it. He says, this guy could explode on any touch. That sounds like Ralph on prom night.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
Fecal
You weren't
Mist
there.
has, we all just assume.
Leave Ralph alone. That's my guy.
Fecal Mist needs 1. Ramondre Stevenson, Javonte Williams, or DeAndre Swift.
Swift for sure. The other two have been really disappointing.
He says, also, I'm starting Keenan Allen and Olave. Need one of these. Should I consider? He just asking question after question. So let's go back to this one. Keenan Allen or Olave?
Oh, that's a nice problem to have. I wish you could get both in the lineup.
Oh,
Keenan Allen, what did he have, like 40 receptions last week, and he played the Raiders this week?
Yeah,
Gotta start Keenan Allen.
I apologize. I think he is starting both those guys. I guess he's looking at the he asks if he should consider Tank Dell or Nakua or stick with CeeDee Lamb. His question is very confusing.
Yeah, you can't bench CeeDee Lamb for those other guys. He's a must start every week.
Wow. Fighting Wampa says, should I start Josh Allen or Tua?
That's another guy with the same quarterback problem like Hurts or Cousins. As much as that's a fantastic problem. I actually had that in one of my leagues, and I traded Tua this week to get Kyron Williams in a very large 14-team expert league. That's a tough one, but Allen gives you the rushing numbers too. I got to lean to Allen, but I'd probably try to trade one of them.
So when you propose a trade and you're in a, like you said, a pro league, right? You propose a trade and they accept. Do you second guess? Oh my God, what have I done? Like that? Maybe I shouldn't have done
never.
that.
Never. I never second guess myself. I don't want to sound arrogant, but when it comes to trade offers, I never second guess myself when I'm actually putting an offer together.
Oh, I would. I'd be like, why did he
I'm not saying I never second guess myself about lineup positions and other things, but if a deal's completed, that's because I've liked doing it. I never sit around and go, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. It's like it's so interesting, like because you get men all the time who say they don't worry about anything. Then you should ask them who they're going to start. And they just get like all frazzled.
Yeah, that's the only thing we as men worry about. It's our fantasy football. That's it. Nothing else.
Right. That's it. Nothing else.
All right, listen, we got to take a break. When we come back, more of your guys' question with Scott Engel. He's the Fantasy Sports Writing Association Hall of Famer and writer for thegameday.com. And of course, guys, we got to ask our fantasy football questions. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Hit that button.
Scott Graham here from Westwood One. Primetime NFL action is coming up from Lambeau Field in Green Bay when the Packers host the Detroit Lions. Both are 2-1, coming off a win last week. Now they face off for the early NFC North lead. Ian Eagle and Hall of Famer Joe Thomas will have the call. on air, and on the free live stream sponsored by AutoZone on Thursday Night Football.
Right here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Snap into action this NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets, guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. That's $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. Hey, in New York, right now I'm looking at all of the unders for Jets offensive numbers. Passing yards, touchdowns, receiving yards. I'm looking at all the unders in New York. So visit FanDuel.com/win and kick off the NFL season. That's FanDuel.com/win, FanDuel.com/win. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
21 plus and present in Arizona. First online real money wager, only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem?
It's Raymond and Austin. We're back on All-Star Sports Radio, celebrating their 30th year. Our sportsbook and casino sponsor, BetUS.com, is offering a 125% sign-up bonus plus up to 30 risk-free bets.
It's called Bet Protect, the perfect offer for crazy plays, like the famous butt fumble. It's the GOAT of embarrassing plays.
Really, remember when you bet me you could do a live show with a GOAT as your co-host and he face-kicked you?
Thankfully, I didn't take the under on that one.
Anyway, folks, get Bet Protect today. The industry's biggest 125% sign-up bonus plus up to 30 risk-free bets. BetUS.com, where the game begins.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Live and local.
David Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. And yeah, we are running out of time with Scott Engel, the Fantasy Sports Writing Association Hall of Famer and writer for the GameDay.com. Got a lot of questions still sitting here on the text line. So I think all of us hosts should get one question. You get one good question for Scott E. the King on the socials there. Randy, I'm going to let you go first since you are numero uno with 3-0 in the Premier League.
And I don't know how the hell I did that, but hi, Mr. the King. I hope your week is going well. Quick question. I've got Najee Harris, which has been just useless for me, but I'm wondering if I should play Rico Dowdle if with Dallas, if I should replace Najee with him.
Good to hear from you, Mr. the Randy. And with all due respect, if you ask me a question like that any week of the season, I'll say you're probably going to finish 3-10.
So you're saying I need to keep Najee in the lineup? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, there's no way you start a backup running back who's not even ranked in my top 55 over Najee Harris.
Okay, all right.
Hey, Scott, can you come closer to the phone as you're insulting us? I think it would sound better. Keon, it's your turn.
All right. Flex position. I got DJ Moore, Breece Hall, or Marvin Mims. I'm not entirely certain who to start with those three.
I don't think you can start Breece Hall right now. The Jets offense actually looks more disgusting than last year. I like Marvin Mims. He's averaging a ridiculous 27.9 yards per catch, but it's going to be a good matchup for DJ Moore, and I think he can bounce back this week.
All right. Ralph, it's your turn.
Well, you may have just answered this. By the way, enjoy going back to the stadium of our coronation for the Seahawks.
Yes.
I have 4 backs. I have to get 3 of them going. I got Breece Hall as well. I got Walker. I got Bijan Robinson, and I've got Isaiah Pacheco. Do I sit Breece Hall?
Yes, definitely. You can't start Breece Hall right now. Everybody got excited when he ripped off those long runs against the Bills, but the Jets offense looks putrid. The only guy that you can play, and maybe as a wide receiver 3, is Garrett Wilson.
All right, my turn. I feel pretty good about my lineup, except for I do have Tutu Atwell in my flex, but right now I'm sitting on Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton on my bench. Would I be better served with one of those guys? I'm not really that confident with Jerry Jeudy coming off an injury.
I like the matchup a lot for both Denver wide receivers, but Atwell's been playing too good to bench him.
I know he's a little guy. I was surprised to see him running around out there.
Him and Tank Dell are both 5'10", 165, and proving that the NFL is changing. to where the smaller wide receivers are now real threats.
Yeah, what I really enjoyed also about Atwell is when Stafford would put it where he could catch it, he did. But man, Stafford kept throwing at him like behind him, way in front of him, and it made his stat line look like he was having a hard day.
I think that's designed. I know what you're talking about.
All right, let's get back to our friends on the text line. There's a lot of people with a lot of questions, so let's rattle through them best we can before we're done here at 4:30 for Thursday Night Football. Box of Screws says, start one. Dobbs, Dubes, Pickens, or DJ Moore?
I stick with DJ Moore for what I was just telling you guys.
Parlay J says, I had both quarterbacks go down in a 15-man, 2-quarterback league. How do I get my friends to stop making fun of me? I don't think you can help.
Join in and make fun of yourself. It'll deflect everything.
There you go. Make fun of yourself, Parlay J.
Yeah.
Baker's Cocky Hen says, I need to start 4 of the 6. Oh, come on, guys. That's just that's just too many.
You're asking you to just set your whole lineup, basically.
All right. He says it's all right, so we'll do it. All right. So he says Ayuk, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Smith, DK Metcalf, Zay Flowers, Thielen. 4 of those 6.
You benched the last 2. That sounds like a terrific wide receiver core. Are you playing like a 4-team league?
That's a good point. How did you get that, Baker?
Yeah.
You can't be in a daily blender league. There's 10 teams in every league. Morticious Man says, should I start Josh Jacobs or Eckler?
We don't know if Eckler's playing yet. You got to wait till Sunday to make that decision. Too early to make it. I'm going to check if Eckler just got limited practices, so we still don't know.
But if he does play, what would you?
Boston Eckler. I have a rule. If a guy is cleared to play and it's on no pitch count, no reports of any limitations, if the team clears him to play, I clear him to play.
There you go. Swave Dave says, should I play Mims or Dell in my flex?
I really like Mims this week, but I can't bench Tank Dell. Pittsburgh is 22nd against the pass, so you got to stick with Dell.
Tiger Paws wants to know, A.J. Dillon or Aaron Jones?
Yeah. If this guy's 3-0, he's going to finish 3-10. There is no way you play A.J. Dillon over Aaron Jones, but Jones playing tonight.
I think he says, play Aaron Jones. Whistling Gerbil says, Sam Laporta and St. Brown starting. Do I play Gibbs or Eckler?
You have to play Gibbs because we don't know if Eckler is playing. You can't wait.
Lost Toby says, Keon looked very confused when those two ads fused together. We're not. Lost Toby, ask a damn fantasy football question. We're out of time for this. Lacrosse guy says, Gabe Davis or Keon's idol, Terry McLaurin.
McLaurin's almost not playable right now, but Gabe Davis is never playable, so play McLaurin.
Ouch. Raven Kid says, I need 2 of these guys in my flex this week. Here comes the list. Godwin, Tutu, Dotson, Sutton, Kendra Miller, Tank Dell.
Tutu and Tank Dell.
Tutu and Tank Dell.
Can't bench either one of those guys for any of those other options right now.
Eye Candy says, Mr. King, for my flex position, should I play Kirk, the wide receiver for Jacksonville, or Moss, the running back for the Colts?
I'm going to go with Moss. He's playing really well, and it's a good matchup. With Kirk, it's Calvin Ridley's facing the Falcons. This team, it might be totally a Calvin Ridley party where Kirk gets left out.
Shooter McGavin says Addison or Michael Thomas.
Mr. McGavin, I'd always play Addison over Michael Thomas. You issue me that question in week 12, I'll answer the same thing.
J-Rod says, I got Cam Akers, Kareem Hunt, and Jonathan Taylor on the bench. Which one should I drop?
If you're not targeting anybody specific to drop, then I would cut a player. I'm not cutting Taylor and Akers. They're not waiver wire fodder. if there's going to be somebody, it's Hunt. But if you're just dropping players for the sake of dropping players, that's not something I would do.
So basically, sort your own stuff out, J-Rod. Kiss the Cook says, since the Suns got rid of that, okay, this is not a fantasy football question.
I got fantasy basketball rankings coming up on the game day soon. I can answer basketball questions.
All right. Well, this wasn't a question. He was just ranting because that big trade we had with DeAndre Ayton.
Oh, yeah.
That whole mess. Last Optimist says, cannot bench Dell. You had me bench him for Lockett.
It depends on who you have. I was speaking to somebody specifically as to who they have. It's not across the board. It depends. It's context. It depends on who else you have.
Niner Napoles says Ramondre Stevenson, Najee Harris, Damon Pierce. It's PPR, so I got to start one.
I'm gonna go with Pierce. I think he's got a shot to get in the end zone again this week.
Big George is complaining. He says, man, I got so much crap last year for asking questions with 3 or 4 players. Well, Scott Engel from thegameday.com, he doesn't mind answering those questions. But, you ask other fantasy football experts and maybe they're just like, okay, that's just a lot of people. There's a lot of people to sort through. And, we're trying to keep things moving so everybody gets their questions asked, George. So, get off my jock. Anyway.
I never turned down a question.
Yeah, he has another question for you, but I don't know if I want to give it to him because I don't think he deserves it.
You're the boss.
Yeah, not really. I'm too nice. Big George does want to know, would you start Saquon Barkley, Matt Breida, or Cam Akers?
We don't know if Barkley is playing or not. With Saquon Barkley, you can't play Akers. It's his first game back. You wait till Monday night. Barkley plays, you start him. If not, you use Breida.
There you go. Cliff Dingleberry has a question. He says, if I had a chance to trade Judy for Cooper Kupp, should I do that?
I don't know when Cooper Kupp's coming back exactly. The problem with trading Judy for Kupp right now is who do you pop in your lineup if you get rid of Judy? If you have enough depth to do it, I would do it. But if you can't effectively replace Judy right now in your lineup, I wouldn't do it.
Lost Toby says DJ Shark, Shaheed, Dubes, Jay Reynolds, or the Jet in my flex.
Who's the Jet?
I don't know. I was hoping you'd know.
I don't know. I'd go with Romeo Dobbs. He's a good shot of getting in the end zone.
Moist One says trade analysis on Jordan Addison and Darren Waller for Mark Andrews and Josh Downs.
I would keep the Addison side.
There you go. Scott Engel, thank you so much. I sure appreciate all your help. Fantasy Sports Writing Association Hall of Famer. He's over there at the game day. Find him in the fantasy football area. Find him in the fantasy basketball. Just find him in the entire area of gameday.com. And you can also find him on social media at Scott E. The King. So have a great weekend, Mr. The King. We sure appreciate it. Anything else you want to plug before you go?
Yeah, make sure to check out my Fantasy Football Plus for week 4 at thegameday.com.
You got it, buddy. Thank you so much. And everybody else, stay tuned. Coming up next, you got Thursday night football. It's Lions at Packers here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Hey, it's Ron Colbert. Join me and Tony Desiri every weekday morning. It's your wake-up call, Phoenix, right here on 1580 and 99.